Hey you guys, I am so sorry. I'm just gonna do a regular stream because my internet cut out in the middle of that stream and I don't know what the hell. I know when I make some topics and it's kind of I just turned on my stream and I forgot to turn the monetization off for the stream, so I'm not gonna be that long. But like with some of my sobriety commentary, those videos don't get monetized, they get flagged. I don't know if YouTube is doing something where they're trying to make things more, I don't know. But as I was really on a roll with this pro-life thing, my internet just cut out. So, oh well, you guys, I'm just gonna do a check-in with y'all. I hope that y'all are doing all right. I am all into this election, all into the campaigns and stuff like that and what's going on. So my mind and my time is just really occupied, and I'm occupied with school and those kind of things. So I've been really busy doing stuff. I'm kind of upset that my stream just ended like that, but whatever. I don't go live as much anymore, but I hope that y'all are okay. I have a couple things that's planned this weekend where I'm going to get ready to go on a little vacation. With all of this work, with all of this work that I've been doing, I have got to travel. And I don't know what's going on with the price of these tickets. I just bought a plane ticket, right? Because I need to get out of here. It's like $1,200 domestic, which is fine, but I'd rather pay that for a first class flight. What's good, Denia? I don't know. I was live a few minutes ago because I wanted to talk about this pro-life versus pro-choice thing, and my internet cut out, so whatever. I'm going to take that as a sign, but I'll have to revisit that another day. But how are you, Denia? I just wanted to come and chat with y'all a little bit before I started my weekend, before I get out of here and do my thing. So I hope that you're doing all right. So yeah, my plane ticket out of here is like $1,200. I'll be taking a couple of days off, and then after that, when I go on vacation, I like take another vacation to get my head together. So yeah, I won't be here as much. Let me know when you revisit that topic. I could talk about it right now, Denia. What's your thoughts on it? So hey, Zero, but I would have to. I forgot to turn the monetization on for that topic, but I don't know if YouTube had kicked me, call you after the stream. Why can't you tell me no? Do you want to come up and chat about it? I can talk about it. So for those of you that don't know, my earlier stream, if you missed it, I was talking about pro-life versus pro-choice. And then I kind of went into it a little bit, and then my computer cut out. But I was thinking about these decisions that we make that affect the rest of our life. And so some of you know that I am a part of the Republican Party, and I do lean towards I don't just lean that way, but I am a pro-lifer because I feel that everybody has the right to live, and our constitutional rights should not negate somebody else's. That's how I feel. Hey, Lisa. So let me set that back up. Hi, Zero. Call you after the stream. I have to call you when I am on the road. Men have no business determining what women do with their bodies, period. Okay, I could agree with that, but then women should make the decision to keep the child, and then men won't have to do it. That reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale. What you mean by that? Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? Drop the link. Okay, good. That'll give me a time to set that stream back up. Let me put the other one on. Okay, let me drop the link for Denia. And it's okay if you guys do not agree with me, but I need to redo that title, so let me drop a link for her. So let me say this. It is a very sensitive subject, but I think it's a conversation to be had because thank you, Cutting Edge. When we're going into these topics and we're talking about things like that, the child, when does conception start? Is that the word? It's a loaded question, but I believe that everybody has the right to live and nobody has the right to take that away. And that's just how I feel about it. Peace and blessings. You look radiant as always. I hope all is well. All is well. All is good, y'all. I'm just doing my thing, staying in my lane, minding my business, and trying to stay as healthy as possible. I'm waiting for Denia to come up. Let me. Hang on, you guys. Let me see if I can turn on my monetization for this. I just been really, really busy with school and work and those kind of things. How you doing, Derry? So I just been doing my thing. Just really living life. Life has been lifing. I want to go home I want to go home next week and see my family, my brother, because it's just been like really important for me to show up for them because, you know, we got some stuff that's going on, but I don't know. And when I'm not here for a while, I get shy talking to y'all. So I don't know. Hey, free thinker. I'm just chatting. So, what's my thoughts on Project 25? Oh God, do you want to come up and talk about? Let me pin a link. I have to set this stream up for that. I don't mind talking about those kind of things. I think that's a hard conversation from the chat gambit. You're asking me about Project 25. That will affect every aspect of our American policies. All right, okay, you want to turn your camera off or you keep your camera on? Okay, there you go. Hey, free thinker, oh my God. Hey, Denia.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. So yeah, I mean the issue is
Wait,
the
let me
fact
turn
of
you up. I don't know if it's my
hold on.
volume or yours. So I'm gonna get off camera so I can retitle this back.
Okay.
But I can't have duplicate titles. So I titled the other one pro-life versus pro-choice. I have to title it something else. Just go ahead and talk. Let me set the stream up.
I got you, no worries. Good evening, everyone. So my thing is this, because Miss Anderson said that, you know, well, if the women decide to keep the kid, then the men would have to make a choice. I'd be all down with that if there weren't extenuating circumstances. So if it's incest, if it's rape, which is not a choice of the woman, they should be able to do what they need to. They should be able to do what's best for them, and it's not fair to force them to keep a child that they don't want and didn't ask for. But again, my biggest thing is the fact of if people, so if you know, and if they were so quote unquote pro life, they're pro life to a point. They're pro life till the kid gets here, and then but when it comes to actually taking care of the child, that's where it's like, oh wait, well, you know, you just you know, we made you have that kid, but we're not going to help you, you know, handle that child or have that child grow into a successful citizen. So that people can say they're pro life all day long, but yeah, the way their actions have been set up, not so much.
But where does a child have rights?
I'm sorry?
What about the child's rights?
When the child's like actual human?
But okay, so now you're saying that does a child, so when do you become human?
Not a conception. I forgot what the weeks are, but it definitely is not a conception. Like a freaking tadpole then.
So how can you say that it's not a conception? See, that's why I strongly disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get rid of my MAGA sign because I got people messaging me talking about they're going to unsubscribe. Let me get rid of my MAGA thing real quick. But telling me to get unsubscribe from me. Okay, I think, did that title change up there?
No, it says I'm back right now. But then again, yeah, it says I'm back. But...
Okay. So, hi, Cesar. Go ahead. Let me finish this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm listening. I'm setting the stream up because I need to.
I mean, you can disagree, but I mean, like, it's my biggest thing is the fact of life does not begin at conception, because if that was the case, I mean, like, that's, that would mean every little tadpole,
So you're trying to say that the baby just comes out of nowhere, and
it's not a full child.
So then what? So then what are you carrying? If it doesn't start at conception, life begins at conception. How are we going to say that? You're terminating a life. They don't say that you're terminating a what? You're terminating a life, and there's really no other way to put it. Let me read this about the Project 25 thing. Freethinker said if the policy doesn't support the continuum of life 0 to 150 years, then she's not talking about the Project 25 thing. Freethinkers, oh God, if the policy doesn't support the continuum of life 0 to 150 years, then pro-life is BS. Pro-life isn't BS because think about this. I just feel that you never know what that child is going to come out to be, and we don't ever talk about the consequences on the mom and how she never really gets over it.
I'm aware. I have friends that have had to have.
Okay, but how are they handling it? Honestly,
it takes a while, right? Especially, but it's not something that they know at the time they had to do it. So it's not like, whatever, they know they had to do it. So.
And you do realize that circumstances change. So when you are so just for the record, let me hold on. Did I pin that link? So just for the record, you guys, let me say this. I'm not insensitive to things happening because there's some really horrible things that happen and bad things happen to good people. But situations change, and that's the beautiful thing about adoption.
You have a MAGA sign up here, right?
Oh, I forgot to take that off.
I'm just saying, because I ain't nowhere near. Nope. Ain't.
Okay, no, wait a minute. I forgot to take it off.
Never, ever want to let a P ever be in office again.
There we go. Y'all happy now?
Something the whole child on stage, and she would have no problem with that. But please don't get me started. Look.
You don't like that either?
That man sexually assaulted his child on stage. What? No.
Whoa. My algorithm. Wait a minute. What is your problem with Trump?
45? Really?
What are you talking about? He did what? What are you
weren't there when he inappropriately touched his child during the RNC? You missed that part.
None of that. So you're believing all that stuff?
That I saw with my own eyes? Absolutely. That he said everything he said about Ivanka, which is on record.
What does that have to do with
how he would date her if that wasn't his daughter? About this is his own words about how
that has nothing to do with him running this country.
He never should have been able to run. Are you kidding me? He never should have been able to run with all the mess he had. What? The fact that he sat up there and actually bragged about when he was in charge of Miss Teen USA and how he could go into their own dressing rooms.
That has nothing to do. Here's the problem with people. That has nothing to do with his policies and how he's going to run the country, because everybody has secrets and nobody wants to talk about what the hell Clinton did in the White House. We want to overlook that. We want to talk about things inappropriate. We can't just focus on, because we don't like Trump. As a matter of fact, Trump did a lot of things for Black Americans that people don't like to talk about. But as far as the election goes, we cannot deny that the Roe versus Wade is not a big decision that's out there. So therefore, when you're thinking about that, you got to think about pro-life versus pro-choice. So therefore, the Republican Party. Now, when I say
have you read how much when
I say that they're pro-life, you got to remember they're not all pro-life. It kind of depends if they're going with a religious point of view. And since we believe, and a lot of it's like based off of morals and stuff like that. And every person has the right to live. And I don't think there should be any law that allows you to take that right away from anybody else. And conception does not, you're human from the point of conception. Like, I don't understand how this is even an argument. Imagine we wouldn't be here if somebody made a decision to end our life early, and we're all here despite those hard circumstances. And that's all I'm saying. I want you guys to know I'm very sensitive to extenuating circumstances. I'm very sensitive to that. My dog is tripping. But at the end of the day, there has to be some common ground, and there has to be something that protects everybody's rights, including the rights of a child.
Which would why pro-choice is what it is. Like that there never should be any men determining what women do with their bodies. Period.
Who said it's just men? There's also women on. So you're
Look,
saying that Congress is just full of men?
look at the majority of Congress.
Denai, you know what the problem is with you know what the problem is right now? We're gonna have to put our friendship aside for this conversation because I strongly disagree with you.
Okay.
And that your views that you have already had embedded in you, so you're not willing to listen to somebody else's point of view, and you're not willing to open up your mind to Gambit. That's not true because Project 2025 absolutely matters. It absolutely matters.
Oh, it definitely matters. It absolutely matters.
Gambit, this is why you don't talk politics and open. Okay,
No, that's fine.
not tailor made.
I'm good. I'm good. I understand people have different viewpoints.
I hate that word, Trumpian. I hate that word. Project 25 would allow consolidated executive power to free thinker. I think you guys are missing the point. I think you guys are missing the point of Project 2025.
What is the okay? So what do you think the point of it is? Because last time I checked, because out of people's mouths that are a part of it, a lot of it is they don't want us to vote at all. Have you heard that part?
So are you for people that are illegal aliens voting?
No, they can't anyways. So
No, but they're trying to change that law, and that's what I'm saying. Why everybody is trying to focus on Republican this, Republican that. Why are they pushing for people that just came to the country that's not even a registered voter to be able to vote? That's not even legal in the country yet. Why are they pushing for them to vote? Because they'll more than likely vote for the Democratic Party. So this is why you can't talk politics with a lot of people because you gotta keep your emotions out of it. How you doing, Trinago?
I think it's more the fact. It's more the fact of they don't want. No. I think you're missing a big part about it. They really don't want women voting. Did you miss that part?
Did I what?
You missed the part where the people that are running this thing don't want women to vote. They don't want Black folks to vote. Like, I think you're missing a lot of this piece.
Show me that in writing where they said they don't want Black people to vote. Show me that. Because there's nothing that I read that said there is no law that's trying to say that Black people cannot vote. And
all the voter suppression things that are happening.
No, I'm sorry. You're mixing things up. You're mixing things up.
Not at all.
There is no law that's trying to stop Black people from voting. Okay?
Multiple.
No. Tell me them then.
The fact that we have the Voting Rights Act can't get passed.
Wait a minute. We're into.
We don't have the right to vote. We have to ask permission every 25 years. And look at how many states have had voter suppression laws passed.
We have the right to vote, but if you have a felony or you have things that don't allow you to vote, there's nothing I can do about that until that law changes.
No, not that part. I'm talking about.
There's no law that says that Black people can't vote. Are we?
No. We don't have
what the hell does that have to do with being pro-life or pro-choice? Can we finish that conversation first? Can we finish that topic first before we go on to voting rights? Because there's no law saying that Blacks can't vote. What are you talking about?
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure there are no voter suppression laws all across the country? Are you sure?
You're trying to use very loose language, and that's one of the reasons why you're very democratic right now. Listen, you're using very loose language. Tell me the law that stops Blacks from voting. I don't want to hear about, there's these laws back in the day. I don't want to hear any of that. I want to hear the law that stops Blacks from voting today.
Not back in the day.
I checked. Anybody can take their arses down to the voting booth. You can't talk politics with me. I'm independent. I don't mind you being an independent free thinker.
Right, it's not a big.
But Denaya, you're spitting out stuff that's not even a fact.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you positive there are no current voter suppression laws in this country?
I'm not using. Listen, I'm not going into that kind of a language. What you're gonna have to do, because I'm not going down that rabbit hole. If you want to talk about a specific law, we can talk about that. But what I'm not going to do is do this word game thing. What's wrong with
So
you?
there's no gerrymandering. I mean, so gerrymandering doesn't exist.
Did I say that? What I said is there's no law that absolutely stops blacks from voting.
Hold on,
That's wrong. That's
1
wrong.
second. I'm about to find it. Hold on. So when I find it, 1 second.
There's
I'm
no
looking for it
law
now.
that's stopping blacks from voting. Now, if you have extenuating circumstances and there's a law, but that law means whites or blacks with certain felonies can't vote. So that's not exclusive to black people. And we really have to stop this mindset of, oh, blacks can't do this, blacks can't do that. Just stop it.
It's not. No. What I'm stating is not. Is that what the Try to 2025 is basically going towards that? But hold on, let
No,
me
what
get
you
the whole
said was
thing.
there's laws that stops blacks from voting,
Voter
and you want to
suppression,
go down
yeah,
this
absolutely,
loose
for sure.
wording, this whole abstract thinking. Y'all know I don't do anything like that. Emil, you need to read what's written in stone. The DC, Emil, you need to read what's set in stone. In DC, the laws change all the time, and some laws were written 150 years ago. That's coming to term. I'm not saying that there's not laws, but I'm saying that are there any laws that excludes blacks exclusively? I know there's not. If there were, then you'd be able to say this law.
It's because it's hidden in language. But hold on 1 second.
Anything could be interpreted how you want, depending on what
No.
side
It's
you're
hidden in
going
certain language.
for.
It's not. It's not.
But
They're
if,
not going
if
to
it
flat out.
doesn't say that,
They're not going to specifically say that, but it's hidden in certain languages, and that goes. But that goes
I'm
to
not
the
saying that it's not
redlining.
real
It goes to.
folklore. What I'm saying is you cannot exclusively include. You can't exclude blacks from the voting booth. That's just not true.
They're not supposed to be able to. However, whew,
Both
it's
sides.
convenient.
Trump would not be spending so much time in Milwaukee if he wasn't trying to win over the black vote. Hey, steady grinding. So no, I'm not going to go for that. I'm not going to go for, oh, because this law. No, it has to say that blacks can't vote, blah, blah, blah. And I don't see that anywhere. So I'm not sure
Hold on 1 second.
why you guys are trying to paint that picture. Some people don't want to vote, and that's it. That's all.
True, but the people that want to vote can't always vote. And again, this is where the voter suppression laws come out. But hold on 1 second. Oh, what was I just watching? Just talked about that. Hold on.
You're Googling kind of hard for you
I
to
was about
already
to-
know this law.
Oh no, the
So
whole
you
thing
guys,
is because
let me
it's
go
one
back to my
conversation.
original point because we didn't even finish the topic that I wanted
The
to talk
pro-life
about.
oh yeah, right. The pro-life
thing.
and pro-choice. Good. I mean, you
So
brought Project
I
2025,
wanted
so
to
that's
be
why I got
clear
the
about.
thing. But go ahead.
I wanted to be clear about something
Mhm.
because I don't want people to misquote me. You had brought up a point before we got into this law thing with the voting thing because we all know that blacks can vote if they don't have any felonies. Blah blah. There's no excuse. I mean, damn, you can mail in a damn ballot if you preparing time. But as far as what I was asking before, and I was thinking of some of these policies when it comes to election, and then Roe versus Wade, and then pro-life versus pro-choice. All I was saying is when people are talking about pro-choice, nobody really talks about the effects that it's going to have on the mom in the long run, and nobody is talking about the rights of a child. That's all I was thinking about. How you doing, Chop TV? The fact that, oh my God, here we go with this Project 25 thing. Listen. The fact that the people behind Project 2025 are named Heritage Fund. Oh God.
The Heritage Foundation is a whole other conversation, child. Oh goodness, not that name of a company. Right, that part. That right. It's not the
Let me
right answer
ask you
for
guys
it.
this.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
Now
the
I
difference.
do think. Now I don't want you guys to think I'm trying to persuade you guys one way or another. We're just having a conversation.
Oh no, we're just having a conversation because my mind's made up.
Laws and these
25,
policies
so.
do affect us. And for those that constantly think, oh, the Democratic Party is going to save me, I'm wondering how have your life improved? Because there was a time that they were in control of Congress and we had Democratic presidents. How did your life improve? Or were you only promised a bunch of things and a bunch of policies that never came? It all they had to do was promise it. But it seems to me as a lot of people are in the same spot wanting the same promises for them never to deliver. Now, the Republican Party, I do believe in a wealthier population. I believe in a wealthier nation, a livable wage, where we're not depending on government handouts and we're not depending on the government to supplement our income. So less government involvement in our life. You can't It's if you're saying that the government is suppressing you, then he's not going to save you. That's what I'm saying. So we have to be responsible for our finances and for building our families, and we can't depend on other people to do it. And yeah. And that starts with our moral values. It starts with our integrity. It starts with a lot of things. And you have to be able to vote. And there's no law excluding you from voting. You just have to make things happen regardless of how you feel about it. You could never. Okay, so Free Thinker said Project 2025 is built to create a dictatorship. You think that's for Black people? I'm not saying that that's for Black people, but I think that a lot of people, it's of course, I'm not going to be for a dictatorship, but it's not saying that, Free Thinker, and I think you're misinterpreting it.
It is.
Learning Daily says both sides are full of if, but Trump is promising some policies that will cripple minorities and make the 1% richer. I do believe in a wealthier economy, and I think and people are not realizing that Republicans are for that, because with the wealthier economy, which includes our people becoming wealthier, but they put right back into society, so the 1% does become richer. But how do you change that? So I'm not saying that either. No party is perfect, so you really have to decide what's best for you, what's going to work for you. I live in California, all right, in a very liberal state, but I just keep seeing people making the same decision every election if they vote at all. If you don't vote, you really, please don't jump on the panel trying to have a conversation with me, because your point of view doesn't matter at all. If you're a Democrat that don't vote, you can come up. I don't mind that. But all I'm saying is, if you don't vote and you really aren't well versed in any of these subjects, then I'm not really interested, because you just want to start an argument, and I'm not going to engage in argument. I really feel that these things should be talked about because they affect our life. Project 2025, I was surprised at the amount of it affects all of our policies. Okay, so
it does.
Don't think that I just brushed it off, but things have to change, from the way our police force is, from the way that our neighborhoods are policed, our government policies. Agreed. All those things have to change. And you have to admit that some things do not work, and it has not been working for Black people. And the fact that we keep going for the same promises election after election, hoping that things are going to change, it hasn't changed. You have to remember that Blacks used to be Republican until they were thrown out of office. So why can't you guys talk about going back to something?
Hold on, wait. Let's go to that part. Hold on, wait.
Our ancestors.
Let's go to that part.
Let me finish my thought. You can let me finish my thought. I don't understand this impulsiveness tonight. I haven't even seen the side of you. I'm really shocked tonight with you, but that's okay. I'm gonna put my feelings aside. Now.
Okay.
She's gonna beat me up later, y'all. I think that we have to remember, and we were majority were a part of the Republican Party. And there's a reason for that. And I think our ancestors, I know that our ancestors were onto something. We were in office and we got thrown out of office. Now we're starting to make our way back and starting to build our life back together. But the Democratic Party, there's a lot of problems with it, and people like to glorify it and act like it's going to save our people. We have to be able to save our own people. We have to be able to be a part of the political process. We have to be able to make these decisions. And you cannot just say, because I feel like when it comes to the Republican Party, people think of the devil and they don't really look at what it stands for. Okay. And there's some things that has to change. That's all I'm saying. And some of these government policies and things like that just cripple us more than helps us.
Agreed. So I guess
but because she doesn't agree, you guys don't have to agree with me. As a matter of fact, I'm glad that some of you don't agree with me, so we can have a conversation about it, and then maybe you'll come to your senses.
It's not a big deal. Believe me, I have friends that a couple people that support 45. So
what's so wicked? Oh my God, free thinker. Okay, we're putting all friendships aside tonight, so I have this conversation. Listen.
Right. But okay, so what happened? So what happened with the Southern Strategy? Have you heard of that or no?
Listen,
Southern
you're not
strategy.
even
You know
on
what that is?
camera, so
Do you know what happened with Southern
are
strategy?
you wanting to tell me about why? Are we back at the voting thing on why blacks can't vote?
I already put that. Oh, I already put like that part in the chat about voter suppression. But that's a whole other conversation. I'm saying, but
Now you're talking about voter suppression. What are you asking me?
Southern strategy,
What part of it are you talking about? Because you're
where the
asking me about
Republicans
something else
reached
that
out
not
to the
just.
where the Republicans reached out to all the racist people to become part of the
What
party.
are you referencing so I can reference the same thing?
The
Because this is what
Southern
I
strat.
don't
Hold
like.
on, I
This
got
is what
you.
I don't like for people to do. Because you guys are trying to talk about something like it's one sentence and it's
Hold
one
on.
paragraph. Hold on, let me finish my thought because what people like to do is take something
Mhm.
like voter suppression or Project
Mhm.
2025 and ask me something, but I'm asking you what part of it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, free thinker, but what I'm saying is if you're gonna read something, tell me what to reference so I can reference it because it's not just a one sentence thing. So
I
let's be on
got
the
you. I put
same
it.
page. What article are you
Yeah, I put
looking at? That's it.
the link that I. Go ahead. The
No,
link
go
that I put
ahead.
in the chat talks about. The link that I put
Send
in
it.
the
Can you
chat
send
talks
it to my
about.
phone so I can
Uh,
pull it up and we can talk about the same thing?
yeah,
Because
I
if you
put up
wanted to talk about the subject, I can talk about that. But I feel like you got something in particular. So at least let us know what you're talking about, and then we could talk about it like that. That's what we're gonna do.
Gotcha. No problem. Understood. Yeah, I put the link talking
Thank you,
about voter
silent.
suppression in the chat.
Okay,
So give me
wait. I
one
can
second.
probably if you put it in the chat, I could probably get it from my phone. Let me look.
Yep.
Y'all know they say don't talk about politics and religion.
Oh no, it's all good. I'm not
So
even mad.
the reason why
I
it's
already.
difficult for some people, so that's like, okay, we want to talk about something, or we want to talk about a policy, but there's more than one part to these policies. So I just want to know which part in particular. I don't mind talking about what you guys want to talk about. I'm just glad that we're having these discussions before the election. Go.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, like I said, I'm calm. I don't even.
I agree with what a lot of the Republican
Wait,
Party says. I also disagree with a lot of the Democrats. But what turns me off of a lot of people is this racist rhetoric, the Jim Crow type mentality. I truly agree with you, Wigs and Wine. Free thinker. That's a lot of emojis for that sentence, ma'am. Missy is a strong woman. There's nothing wrong with being a Republican, but if Toy are a Trumper, you drink poop. Okay, let me say this. I want to. There was a Republican Party before Trump, and I was a part of the.
correct.
Oh, I get messages from the campaign and everything, you guys. I cannot wait to meet. Never mind, it's not about that. There was a Republican Party before Donald Trump, and
Correct.
we're starting to get confused because Trump is on TV and he's a businessman and stuff like that. And he has a large personality, and we're starting to forget that Republican Party goes way back. So I don't really like being associated, as free thinker said, like a Trumpian or like I'm a Trump supporter or anything like that. I don't want you guys to think stuff like that. I support the Republican Party and right-wing policies. Okay. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You want to be honest about something. I don't like what happened in Capitol Hill, but I don't like the fact that he's blamed for all of it. Do I ever like anything like that? Absolutely not. And it turned a lot of Republicans away. So I'm not saying that either party is perfect. I don't understand
Oh, no,
this
I'm not. Oh
independent.
no, I'm not saying
I'm
that.
not,
I'm an independent Democrat, so but I am sure
let
can't
me
get down
see
with
what
the
free thinker
Republicans
put
doing.
in the chat. But I do feel that people vote Democrat because that's all that they know and they're comfortable with it, and they forget that when they're thinking about what their families vote, their moms, their grandparents, whatever, they're not going back far enough to where we were a huge part of the conservative party. And how can
They're going Klan.
people
Mm-hmm.
just talk about, okay, Biden, number one, you can see that his health is failing. We could see that. But are we forgetting his vice president and mass incarceration in California? Are we forgetting those kind of things? So why people are so busy talking about Trump and his so-called racism, which I don't see that at all.
You don't see the people behind. Okay, so wait.
We're
Here's the
forgetting
one thing
about
about 45. Wait,
we're
here's the one
forgetting
thing.
about the
So
current vice
what's the
president and the
Klan?
laws that he had a big part of making.
True, but the Klan backs him. Like this is not like a joke. Like the Klan backs him.
So
That's a
you want to
problem.
talk about the Klan, then you've got to talk about the Democratic Party and
Agreed.
where it all started and
That's
where
what
it came
started
from.
out, right? And that Southern strategies was switched to
So,
the
you,
Republican Party.
so are you saying that the Democratic Party had nothing to do with the Klan?
No, absolutely, they did before.
Okay,
Oh,
then.
absolutely, no question.
And that's the party that
But
you
it
go
switched,
for.
and then with the Southern strategy, that's when it switched to the Republican Party. So,
And was it not the Republicans that fought the Klan and set up the laws to fight them? And they were the ones that defended our people. It
when they
wasn't
had common
Democrats.
sense, and but not now. That was then. This is we're talking about now. We're talking about how David Duke, legit, is 45's boy. Like that's a thing. That's real life.
Free thinker, let me tell you something. I don't agree with that either. I always say things like, okay, now Trump says make America great again. I always say make America smart again, because there was a time that we used to think about these policies and not just go along with whatever was popular. And I don't feel that we do that. I think that with the internet, we have now become like we need to follow somebody. We join all these things and it's almost like a cult. So I don't think that we really think things through anymore and really do our research and our due diligence on a lot of these topics.
So when you talk about when the whole Make America Great Again, what time do you think they're talking about? Because the last one I heard was from the 1960s. And last time I checked, that was not a good time for us.
Did he say that? It was that time?
Yeah, it wasn't him. It was one of his daggone friends. I remember.
But did Trump say that?
Did 45 say that? No, but supporters said
Okay, then. So are you calling me not smart? I didn't say
about,
you weren't smart, free thinker. I didn't say that. I feel like the Democratic Party goes way too far left, and that's what's turning people off. I agree with that, wigs and wine, and it's this voting thing. It's the border control. There's a lot of things that's very problematic, and especially when it comes to the election, I don't think people realize. I mean, we want to talk about voting and all of that, but you have people that's just coming into the country. They want to pass laws to allow them all to vote. Why? Why are they fighting so hard to get the vote? No, because you know that they're going to vote for the Democratic Party. So why are they trying to make it so anybody can vote that just comes into the country, whether they're legal or not? That's not right. That's not right. There's all kinds of problems there. So it has to be a fair election. Trump just wants a fair election.
That's a lie.
Okay?
That's a lie. That's a lie.
He doesn't want it to be rigged.
No, because
and I don't want to keep speaking about Trump so much because I don't want people to think that I'm just throwing down Trump.
He said, I'm going to accept the results if I win. He was saying that since 2016.
No. He's saying if it's not rigged. He did not say if he wins.
When he went against Hillary, he said that first. He said that as long as I win, the results are true. If not, then it's not true.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that I feel
that's what he said before. So he's been saying that since the beginning. There's nothing new about that.
Free thinker, oh god, free thinkers putting all this stuff. Oh my god, free thinker.
Again, like I said, this is let's be clear, y'all. Like I said, I'm an independent Democrat. Democrats have had their own issues, but I cannot by any means support anyone with this many goddamn charges, especially when it comes to children. I can't.
There's a lot of people that have charges that were our president, and I feel like
okay. So now, I go back to
number one, they already threw out his other case. They threw out the other case that he had was dismissed. And I disagree with the felonies that he got charged with because they're trying to, number one, how is he gonna go to court for something that happened in 2016? And then number two, it wasn't hush money. They're trying to say that he affected the results of the election, blah blah blah. That's not true. None of it's true. It's just easier sometimes to pay somebody off than to have your name thrown through the mud, and who has time to do all this court stuff? So it wasn't like he was trying to hush anybody out. He was just trying to, you know what, let's just go our separate way, and he offered some money. So if you want me to talk about those felonies, no. Everybody goes
so like here's my other thing with him. Like he wants to talk about, how Christian he is, but he's on his third wife with how many children from other people? Like, come on now. And he cheated on every single one of them. Like it's just, there's so many.
If you don't like Trump, just say you don't like Trump. But
I absolutely don't. I've also never liked
the fact Biden is able to lead this country at his big age.
45 is only 3 years older or 3 years younger. And he fall
Trump, I believe, is
and he
78.
fell asleep in the RNC. He fall
Trump
asleep
is
in anything else.
78. No, he's fine. And he has a lot of people in support behind him.
Mm-hmm. Clearly.
So if you vote for Biden, then you're practically saying that you're ready for the vice president to become president before his election term is over.
Fine with me. I can't. I'm not trying to.
So you let your hatred for Trump make you hope. I mean, so you'll make your hatred for Trump interfere with your thinking and your common sense.
Child hate 45 is not. He's not it. Like he's not it. Period. Like he said
Who's
there.
45?
45.
What are you talking about? I got lost on that one.
45 is Trump. I don't see his name. Is he 45?
Trump is 78. That's not okay. I was right. Learning daily. So who is voting for and why? Ooh, that's a heated subject. And I don't know why you guys are just assuming I'm going to vote for Trump. The election is in. Well, okay. Free thinker. So, and he pretended to read the Bible.
That was funny. That was hilarious. And it was upside down. That was hilarious. And he couldn't even talk about whatever passage he loves the Bible, but he couldn't talk about what passage that he loved, or even any sermons or.
Okay, but I'm more okay. Regardless if he quotes the Bible right or not, I'm more interested.
And he destroyed. And actually, wait. And he destroyed the Bible.
He does a lot of things for shock value, and so that people will talk about him because he is a businessman and he understands how to get people talking. So, all of that stuff. Come on now. Now it's just
no. But he also destroyed the Bible, though. There's that. Because he combined the Bible with.
Some of you guys aren't even religious, and y'all talking about the Bible. Reason why it says one of the biggest problems I have with Trump is that he chooses people in his cabinet that are viewed as unfriendly towards other races. Y'all didn't hear when he was talking about. Never mind about the black jobs thing. Listen.
Yeah, the black jobs. Yeah, his black, right? His black American. Yeah, is African American. Come on now. Don't like.
The only reason he talked about black jobs and stuff like that is because what he was saying is that he makes sure that more of our people are employed than in any other time in history. So he's saying that he makes sure that all races can get jobs and that we're able to feed our kids and take care of our homes. So when he was talking about black jobs, that's what he meant, and a lot of people took that out of context.
We'll go with that.
And let me tell you something. What's good, Kaliko? I had to speak out about this. Now, I took this argument over to, I don't think I went to the black sector with it, but I went to the beef sector and different sectors of YouTube because a lot of them just speak this Democrat, I'm being respectful. No. A lot of people just speak this Democrat language and, go Democrat, go Democrat. They're not thinking about they're not thinking about how the party has not helped our people, and I think that it's problematic. Hold on. You got to control your emotions, and listen.
I'm good.
Okay.
Not the party has helped our people. That's the whole conversation. Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna go into the chat and look at the stuff you put in there, free thinker. Yeah. But let me just say this: they only want a panel with people that all think like them. So those aren't discussions. I'm willing to hear you guys out. And no matter how wrong you are, I will listen to you and I will look up the stuff that you're talking about. There's just a few things that would get on my nerves. Fallacies in debate, telling me about some law, like the, like how you guys are talking about the stuff that you put in my chat without telling me which part of it you want to talk about. Ask me about voter suppression laws and things like that. Tell me specifically what you want to talk about and I'll pull it up. Now, I guess we're done with the pro-life versus pro-choice thing that I wanted to talk about, but that's okay because I want to keep having these kind of discussions until this election because I'm at the edge of my seat with it. And the amount of ignorance that's out there and the things that people don't know is just bewildering to me. I watch CSPN too, so free thinker, we should be on the same page. His black people ownership. No, free thinker, you took that out of context. What he was saying with the black people, y'all don't remember during the rally when there was a black lady that was in the audience, right? He offered her a job on the spot. Mm-hmm. He is all for, and I'm not trying to put him on a pedestal. What I'm saying is take away the individual and just think about the policies, because you can't put your faith all in one person. You have to look at the policies and the statutes that they're trying to pass, and not just say, oh, because everybody else is Democrat, I'm going to be Democrat. Oh, my parents were Democrat. We're now in 2024, and a lot of us are looking for something new and something more and something better.
Right.
We don't want people.
We need more than a system.
We don't want people to heavily police us, to have government involved in our healthcare. And what about this? They're talking about raising minimum wage again in California, but we're not talking about inflation or anything like that and the cost of everything. So we're not talking about all that kind of stuff. It's like, no, we're not really having these kind of discussions. We have to be able to take care of our families and have a livable wage. I'm sorry, Dana, I'm going to go on mute. Go ahead.
You just said that we don't want them to police us, right? Right?
That kind of way.
That goes back to the whole pro-choice, pro-life. We don't want men determining what women can do with their bodies.
That's different, because number one, you keep saying men because you're sensationalizing it like a lot. You're sensationalizing it because you're saying that only men is in Congress.
Predominantly. Not only,
they're not the ones that ultimately make the decisions, Anaya. And let me tell you something. A lot of women are pro-life. And I don't feel that people have the right to take somebody's life. No. Because let's be honest, the percentage of people that have an abortion for unfortunate reasons and circumstances are the minority. They're not the majority of the ones that get it. We like to say that, oh, what about this situation? But that's not why the majority gets it. Look at the statistics, since you like statistics so much.
Mm-hmm. Right, the statistics between how many who has.
Now I'm annoyed. Tell me what I don't know, and I'll prove you wrong. Free thinker, I'm going to say this. I feel that because of your dislike for Trump, you're being heavily biased. You do know the laws and you know the things, but now you're talking about Trump saying black jobs. When Trump said black jobs, he wasn't saying that he owns black people. He knows that he doesn't own black people. He's saying that he wants to make sure that our people have jobs, and that was his way of saying it, and people ran with it. Maybe he said it that way so people would run with it and talk about it.
Okay. So let's skip over 45 and talk about his supporters.
If you're looking at the policies and like them, the MU must be a rich white man. Learning daily, how could you say that? No. I'm a black conservative Republican.
Here's the thing. So let's skip over 45. Let's talk about his friends. Nick Fuentes. Have you heard of that man?
Who are you talking about?
Nick Fuentes. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
Have you heard what he says?
Just tell me.
How he wants to protect the white race? Or no?
Okay, so listen, I'm obviously not for things like that. I'm not for things like that. But now what you don't want to talk policies. What you want to do is go through what everybody says and pick apart a sentence without the context. So you want to just go and say, oh, this person said this, so therefore the Republican Party must be bad. Is that what you're telling me? That's the strength of your argument?
I can go down a bunch of people.
Because I can tell you a lot of things that the Democrats have said and laws, because let's not forget that they're responsible for the three strikes, three strikes, and they're also responsible for mandatory minimum. So if you want to tell me, don't tell me about a sentence, tell me about a policy. That's all I'm saying. Because I can take anybody's words apart. I can take anybody's words apart and be like, what about this? Tell me about a policy.
I'm sorry?
Tell me about a policy, not about what somebody said. Because if you want to talk about what somebody said, I'm going to ask you about laws that affect black people to this day. Because we all know that mandatory minimums have affected our people. We don't want to talk about that. We all know that mass incarceration has affected our people to this day. And if you live in California, you know what I'm talking about. So tell me about that. Tell me about why our black people locked up. And what people don't realize is when all this mass incarceration was happening, when our people were sentenced to whatever, that didn't mean they got out of prison in 15 years. They were able to keep them as long as the prison said so, because it was out of the court's hands. So let's talk about that. Don't tell me about, oh, this person talked about the white and stuff like that. I'm more into the things that have oppressed our people, and we're not talking about that. When a person is in jail for all those years in prison, it interrupts the generations, and it interrupts generational wealth and the income that could have been earned. So let's start there.
Oh, absolutely, no question. We already know that the CIA put this is not alleged. They've already came out and said the CIA put guns and drugs into the African American communities. Totally, I know that already. We already know that slavery didn't technically end because it went into the black codes, and then after the black codes, that it basically meant that if you breathed wrong, you were going to jail. That's already known. That's
so now you're all over the place, and I'm gonna try to help you out, my friend. Because listen, you know that there's problems with the Democratic Party, yet you're trying
That's why I'm an
to
independent
take
Democrat.
apart things and be like, oh, what about what this person said? What about what that person said? And I'm asking you, what about these policies that was passed by that party that everybody wants to overlook? Let's do this. I'm gonna ask. Silent Nemesis has a question. What are the thoughts on the death penalty? I'm interested. In what context is white supremacy a good thing? No context, especially when a law is made that's going to imprison a lot of blacks, and that's going to turn misdemeanors into a felony to lock them up for life. That would be the Democratic Party. So wouldn't that be just because it's covert doesn't mean it's not there?
Oh, I know, but
I'm speaking of policies. Why are you stuck on parties? I'm neither policy only free thinker. I'm speaking of policies as well. So our thoughts on the death penalty. You guys have any thoughts about that? My thoughts on the death penalty. I'll give that to Danaya.
It depends on the circumstances. If you absolutely no question committed the crime, especially when it comes to being a P-word or graping somebody, why do you get to live? There is no redemption for you, period. But the problem is that we've had too many people that have been exonerated because the evidence wasn't quite there. So
all right,
that's the issue. But yeah,
I think we might agree on this one, Danaya. Okay, so when it comes to the death penalty, so that's the corporal punishment thing. Here's my problem with that. Even though oh my God, my dogs. Even though I can't quite go. So not all Republicans believe in the death penalty. I happen to be one. And the reason why is because of the percentage of people that have been wrongfully convicted. So because of that, I cannot agree with the death penalty because one life taken that was innocent is too many. So because of that and the statistics of how many people were wrongfully convicted, I cannot be for the death penalty. Even in cases now, it would be easy for me to say, you're asking me a yes or no kind of thing. If there was like an absolute way of knowing that this person committed the crime because of this DNA, I would say absolutely, I'm for that policy. But we know that when you're thinking about a law, you can't just think about one person in that circumstance. Right. Because things have to be for, all, whatever, I have to be against that policy.
Yep.
Oh, so let's not go with the overt white supremacist. Learning daily, I didn't say that. I'm gonna read Republicans and I'm gonna need Republicans and Democrats to pay African Americans the $20 million they owe in reparations. I don't support either party. Let's talk about how the Republicans did pass try to pass a bill in support of reparations, and the Democrats are the ones that shot it down. So go back to 1865 and 2015 and look at the bills that were passed, and they were shot down by the Democrats and not by the Republicans. The Republicans are for a wealthy. Oh my God. Y'all hear my dogs? When I said that? The Republicans are for a wealthier economy because it makes everyone wealthier. All right, who owns the businesses in America overall? So Republicans had no problem passing that bill, but the Democrats had control over Congress, and the bill didn't get passed, but it was shot down by the Democratic Party. And look at Obama's history with shooting down reparations to start there. So I'm going to need for the Democrats to get on board with the Republicans when it comes to reparations. Yeah, if you agree with I didn't say that I agree with Project 2025, but we're talking about a very lengthy policy that and so if you want to ask me about Project 2025, you're going to have to ask me about an aspect and not the overall policy.
Right,
because I think that's fair. There's so many. There's so many parts to it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the parts to it, it's very lengthy. So you can't just ask me what do I think about it overall. I think
How
that a lot
many?
of things
Okay, so
need to
what
be.
have you seen that you actually think is a good part of
I
that
don't.
policy?
You're gonna have to ask me about something specific. I'm not going into what I think is good and what I think is bad about it. I think that people need to be aware about it, and I think that what I could do is set up a stream and
Let's go
put
through it.
the
Let's go through it.
yeah. Because what I'll do is put it up and let us read it and go through it
I'm
because
totally down.
there's no way for me to
I
sum
am
up
totally
Project
down for that.
2025 in a 15-minute live stream.
No, I'm totally down to go through it so you can see exactly what we're talking. I'm totally down to go through
I
that.
know exactly what are you talking about? I've studied Project 2025 when the thing came out. Why do you think I did that poll? I wanted to see how many people were familiar with Project 2025, especially because so many people had got it wrong when I was listening to them. I'm like, no, that's not it. And you guys keep talking about white supremacy 2025. I don't see supremacy. I don't see that when I read that.
So
There's just
okay,
things,
did you
but
miss?
with that being said, with that being said,
You missed. So you missed
you're
Thomas
asking
USA,
me
right?
all or
Or breast
nothing.
all
I'm
that
not
stuff.
saying that I agree with all of it, but what I'm saying is it's a conversation, and I need to pull it up for you guys.
The reason what I will say is the reason that we're talking about the fact that it supports white supremacy because of the people that are behind it. Have you seen the people that are behind this daggone thing? Damn the policies, the people that are behind it, have you seen them and what they've been talking about?
Let me say this. Let's start with the things that we're doing. Free thinker, I said that has to be it. That has to be a stream. I have no problem setting up that stream at all. If you want to go there, let's go. Bring it. Don't hold back because I won't hold back my thoughts. You want to talk about Project 2025. I don't hear anybody talking about Alec and how you want to talk about people behind laws. So I don't know why people think that I'm not for our people. Big corporations that should have no part in making laws, but we still have Alec laws, even though it was supposed to be considered. I mean, it's not constitutional. It doesn't go through the same process as bills that's being paid, right? So I'd rather start there. I'd rather start with companies that, even though a lot of companies pulled out with Alec, but let's start with Alec and something that has already happened. You guys are talking about something that was Project 2025 is not in effect yet.
Correct, and we're trying to make sure it doesn't because it's going to screw up everything. Okay, so what about let's talk about the Supreme Court and
Yeah, I agree that Trump's cabinet
Thomas.
definitely seems quite supreme. So you guys are okay with the vice president and the laws that she had a part of in um California? Are we forgetting about that? What would you consider that? Go ahead, Denaya.
Hold on, oh crap, hold on.
How many of you? Well, you guys. Okay, so you guys, I'm assuming because Project 2025. So instead of looking at the policies and all of that, you guys are more worried about who is behind the policies.
Looking at the
That's
policies and
that's
looking at
interesting.
the policies and who's behind them. Because if you see the people that are behind that thing, whew, that's a whole nightmare. People like Stephen Miller, you remember him, right? You're fine with that guy? Because that's a whole. Ugh.
Did I say I was fine with that guy?
He's behind that. He's behind this freaking policy. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Did I say I was behind that guy?
He's one of the people behind Project 2025. There's nothing positive that can be behind that. There's nothing. He has nothing positive to him. How is he behind anything positive? Hold on. Let me put the Heritage Foundation. What positive things have they done? Like, come on, man.
I'm going to ask you this. What do you want me to? Don't minimize this, MU. Read the project. Let's start the objectives. I won't minimize it. What are your biggest concerns, Tanaya? I understand you said what did you call yourself, an independent what?
Independent Democrat.
Is that even such a thing? How are
Yes.
you? Wouldn't you just be a Democrat?
I don't agree with everything that the Democrats say. Then there are a couple Republicans that I can actually tolerate, but I just don't agree with the Republican platform. I can't do because it's anti rainbow community. Can't do that because I got banned as part of the rainbow community. A lot, not every single one of them, but too many of them are anti African American or anti anything but white. That's a bunch of them, not all, but too many of them are. That's why they were
Let me
able to do that thing, a turning point USA where it's a white boy summer. So
let me say this: you guys are against Project 2025, and the reason why, if you guys want me to pull out, I will. But because of the right wing policies, but you guys are asking me this, and I feel that the reason you guys are asking me is because I'm a right winger. But with that being said, can I agree with the whole policy? No. But will I talk about it? Um, will I? Are there things that I would like to explore with you guys? Absolutely. But I don't want you guys to tie me into an all or nothing kind of thing. Can I go over the points of Project 2025? If you like. The policies wouldn't be supremacist if supremacists didn't write the damn policies. Like, I know you can't be acting like you don't understand that.
right.
Yeah, I'm learning daily. I don't know. Yeah, me. Okay, so okay. What part you want me to go over? Like the major parts? You guys actually want to talk about 2025? I'd rather set up a stream so we all know. So Project 2025 is their. I feel is good for people to understand that don't understand some things that have to do with right wing points of views. Go over each point of 2025. Okay, I'll set up a stream for that because I want to. I will want to. Oh, let me pull something up for you. Okay, let me read this so we can all be on the same page. Make it a stream. It's not. I have to do it in a stream, but let me do a short version. Hold on. Let me pull up my notes here.
Yep.
Okay,
yes,
let me read this.
Do the short version real quick.
I'll do a short version.
Do that.
Just for those that don't know, what I do is highlight some points to it, but really it's a policy, and I would set up a stream and have that ready, but I'm gonna need some help with that one. Project 2025.
Why don't you?
No, let me just read what it is.
Why don't you set up who's behind it first, and that way we can fit. That way people can.
It doesn't matter who's behind it. We're gonna read the. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Stephen Miller's a horrendous.
Project2025.org. Okay, but let me go into my chat and pull up what Free Thinkers showing me.
That man has never made a positive policy in his life. Are you kidding me?
I didn't say. You know, Denaya, the problem with you is that you how come I can't see?
I go by what I see.
I can't see Free Think. Oh, here it is. Oh, it didn't highlight. Hold on, you guys. Let me. So, anyways, it's a playbook. It talks about policies and agendas and stuff like that, and it has a lot of the thing that I like is how it goes over training and things like that, because we have to admit that some of these things are problematic. All right, but what's good, Noble? Google the PDF is available to read for yourselves. Don't let clowns tell you. Study it for yourselves. You're calling me a clown? Damn.
That's not it.
Let me just read this to you guys. Let me try to sum it up. Project 2020. Now it's 4 pillars, y'all. So you have to look into it. It's not just it's 4 pillars, right? But let me just sum this up like this. This is the best I could find on it so far. How you doing, Hustler? Project 2025 encourages the president to ensure that any research conducted with taxpayer dollars serves the national interest in a concrete way in line with conservative principles. Hence why I started out the conversation with pro-life versus pro-choice that Denaya deflected from. Whatever. For example, research in, it's okay, Denaya, I kind of threw that out there. For example, research in climatology should receive considerably less funding in lines with Project 2025. But it's so, not, even though I read that to you, there's so much more to it. Free Thinker is right. You do have to look it up, study the policy.
Right, exactly. Keep on reading.
You said
they're trying.
I'm gonna hurt her.
I'm just gonna wait till you read it, because you were like, "Oh shit."
And so if you guys, like I said, because it's so long, if you want to talk about a part of it, I will. But Free Thinker is right. You need to look at it for yourself. Now, my thing is, has it been passed?
Absolutely.
No. You clearly don't understand it. I understand it very well, but I'm not gonna how you doing, S. Hutchison? I'm not gonna understand it the way that you want me to understand it. Because if you don't think that things need to be rewritten, I think you're sadly mistaken.
Oh, the policies absolutely need to be written, but this ain't it.
You clearly
There is
don't
no
understand
question.
it in you. There is no way. There is no
But this
way
ain't.
if you think it's okay for a person of color. It ain't no way unless you think you are special and they would treat you different. Learning Daily. Here's the thing. I don't think that I'm different. I think that Black conservatives have a different. We're not lumped in the same. I think that we are for our people and our policies, and we want and for the Republican Party to work for us. And that's what people are forgetting. We make no mistake about it. We know that there's things that's not perfect. But if you don't believe in a wealthier economy, less government involvement in your life, I am pro-life, that I don't know what to tell you, because that's what I'm for. And if you want to talk about everything else, I'm going to say those policies before us didn't work. Who said that it needs to be rewritten and for the good of all? Well, it is rewritten. Free Thinker says, I take nothing for granted. I question everything. Free Thinker, I question everything too. But I do think it's very problematic to just go with what our parents and our grandparents believe. I'm not saying that that's what you're doing and not looking at it. So you guys want to talk about Trump and what people said and heritage this and heritage that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as much as what these policies are saying and what bills are being passed into office. Okay. You said never mind. You guys don't think I've experienced racism and the same struggles that you guys have? We're all on the same page. The world of certain people. How will Project 2025 help the homeless? Okay, here we go with the homeless thing. Now, homelessness is a problem, and I'm very sympathetic to all people. Okay.
Homelessness is a bigger problem than that, and that's an issue on both sides. I can say that for sure, because the biggest problem that we have right now, we really technically, with all the money we have, we shouldn't be having anybody that's homeless, but because we have these policies and rent is incredibly crazy, and housing costs are absolutely insane, and we don't have rent caps. We don't have national rent caps. That is the bigger problem. But then it also goes to the fact of the low wage jobs and all of that. So there's a whole bigger problem when it comes to homelessness. The fact that homelessness is now criminalized is absolutely heartbreaking, because that's something that we should have been working as a country to fix that issue. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry about that.
No, because we really need to work on that whole situation. We need to have affordable housing in this country. Affordable housing is not, welfare housing. Affordable housing just means that you pay what you're supposed to pay, which is 30% of your income into your rent. That's not what's happening right now. People are paying 60 and 70% of their income into rent. So again, that's a problem. That is something that is on both sides. That is an issue, right? And of course, that goes to corporations and all the other stuff too. There are a bunch of things that are complex. The issue that I know myself and majority of people have when it comes to the Republican Party is the platform that they present. There is nothing that I can see in that platform that is positive for the rainbow community, that is positive for the African American community, for real, because they're just sitting there and doing all this pandering. But then on the back end, the amount of people, and you can look for this for yourself.
I want to be careful that we don't insult the Republican Party in our speech.
Oh, I don't. I will directly. I have their platform. I've never liked their platform because
what I don't want to do though, because I feel it's problematic to try to persuade people to. I just don't want a lot of Democratic rhetoric, because here's the thing, though. Because I feel like there's so many spaces that try to promote a lot of these ideas and things like that. I really think we have to be careful, because some of the things that people have been taught, they're conditioned. They think that just because of their families. Now, let me read Free Thinker's comment. Don't insult me by saying I only listen to my family. That family are primarily Democrat. Hi, Tina Titles. I was a Republican most of my voting life. This Republican Party is not the party I subscribe to. I didn't mean to insult you. I was speaking in general why people are Democrat. All right. My family is primarily Democrat. Mm-hmm. And so I don't have anyone to talk to really about my views except for my friends. And I don't know why they're Democrat, but we have very heated discussions. And this election is going to affect me either way. My parents will be hurt if Trump wins, and I will be hurt if Biden wins. Okay, so.
And let's be clear. This is why people say, don't discuss politics and religion, because it's tricky, right? It's a incredibly tricky subject. But I don't have a problem discussing it, because I know why I have the issues with the Republican Party that I have with. There's one policy directly that affects me, but I'm not getting it. That would have affected me had it been enacted, but I'm not even going to get into that right now. But like I said, compared to what they've said when it comes to the random community, compared to what I've heard a lot of people say, or not specifically say, but say it with coded language when it comes to African Americans, the way that they demonize DEI, like there are so many things that I have an issue with when it comes to the platform that they utilize when it's convenient, right? The one thing that I will say is that there was more diversity, at the convention. I will give them that. However, the way that the reaction to that is what I have a problem with. If you would have seen I don't think you saw the reaction.
Zanaya, I just feel like you're missing the big picture when it comes to things. I feel like you make really good points. I give you that.
Go ahead, because when you actually break down, like I said, for me, it's a personal issue, because there are too many things that I have seen, that I have heard, that I've watched with my own eyes, and I have had people that have been affected by the BS policies that they have, like what's going on in Florida.
Okay, but you're saying BS policies, but you're not saying what those policies were. I just feel that you're very. Let me tell you something. Everybody's entitled to their opinions of what works best for them. Correct. I just think that you're letting like little things get to you, and that's affecting your like the overall perspective and your overall point of view.
All I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna be mad when we go through Project 2025 for real, and you really look at what they're talking about, because they're not talking about helping us. I'm telling you that right now. Because the people that are behind it are not talking about helping us.
But that's why we have to really participate in these elections and what's going on. I think it's a scary time right now for a lot of people.
Yes.
And there's things that there's things that we don't really think about, like why are they trying to take Black history out in schools? Why are they trying to?
Who's doing that? Oh wait, there you go. Wait. There you. The CRT. We didn't even get into the whole mess of quote unquote CRT, which is a college course, by the way. You just said it right there.
But
why are they trying to? No. That would be DeSantis, right? That does not want to teach about Black history, right? That's happening in Florida. You talk about policy. Perfect example.
Yeah, but you see how I talked about an extra policy, and I didn't just give you something in general. You said that's all I'm saying. So it's not.
I got so many. Isn't that like there's real main trying to think of which one to talk about, but that you just made the perfect point. DeSantis between.
So me saying that, so does that mean I agree with all Republicans? I obviously don't.
between one to ban black books. Go ahead, please. That would be what would be that's what the hell is that called? Mothers of Lord, is that Mothers of Liberty or whatever? Crazy them people. Lord have mercy.
Because they're thinking that they feel that talking about those things makes Blacks angry.
This is right there. You're proving the point. So like Mothers of Liberty.
I can't prove. I'm not proving your point. I'm proving my point.
Liberty is a right-wing organization that wants to determine what all kids can freaking read. Taking away the power of what parents can have their children read and pull everything out the daggone library that they don't like. These are the policies that I'm talking about. That kind of mess is why I can't support this.
The reason I brought that up is because what I'm telling you is when people think, oh, she's Republican, she doesn't understand. I don't like things like that. What's wrong with your foot? I don't like things like that. My dog got something on his leg. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this off my dog. So I'm very aware of the racism and things that you guys are talking about. And I'm not trying to praise either party. What I'm saying, though, is there are certain reasons why I just feel that people get so caught up in the title, Republican, Democrat, and not things that they're really talking about. Free Thinker said on page 32, it speaks of government employees being in alignment with the president. So the right to vote, your personal values can cost your job. Ooh.
Again, like we're trying to tell you, when you look at the budget 2025, you understand what we're talking about. I'm trying to tell you, this is I'm
for more people voting Republican, so I'm not going to be against that either. Now, I'm not saying it should cost you your job, but I am saying that we do have to have common ground and standing if we want unity in the United States.
45 wants loyalists.
How about transgenders teaching our kids the Pledge of Allegiance in schools? We should think of what really counts. I agree. Making Blacks angry. Make Black angry. No, they want the truth hitting. I'm not for that learning daily. And the reason why I brought up DeSantis is because just because a person was Republican does not mean I'm going to go for that. Now, I'm glad I don't live in Florida, but that is a concern. Just like the further and further along we go, like with the younger generations, the more watered down our history is, and it's really important. We're not trying to water down anybody else's history, so why are they trying to water down ours?
Agreed.
See, we have more in common than you think. We
have way more in common. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not, again, this is what I'm saying. It's not about the fact that we have certain things that we don't have in common, but when it comes down to the entire situation, when it comes down to the Republican Party's platform, that is what I have a problem with.
Let me make sure this is showy. Hold on, let me put my banner up. Wait, where is my banner? Hang on.
Shelly.
I don't know how to do the banner thing. Let me just bring her up. I think that's her. Oh, here it is.
It's me.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so
hey, Shelly.
I'll tell you. Hello. Good night. So I've been listening for a little bit, but not too long, because girl, I get so sensitive about politics, and I do not like Trump at all. But I do want to commend you for being brave enough to say, like, this is who I rock with. And at the end of the day, we do have to learn to accept that some of us are going to have a difference of opinion or difference of who we support. But it shouldn't turn into where we have to hate each other or dislike each other based upon, political affiliation. But I do want to say this about the pro-life. I am pro-life, and I'm not going to say that I have never thought about abortion in my day and time. But I just never could do it because I knew it's something that I wouldn't be able to live with. The problem that I have with abortion is people who use abortion as a method of birth control.
Agreed. I agree
that
with that.
My nerves.
Yep.
So I'm going to continue to give you that watch
Oh,
time because I do
thank you.
really happy that you're doing original content, something that you don't see on YouTube anymore. Um, yes, I'm definitely pro-life.
Thank you.
Um,
So we're both pro-life. A lot of the reasons and some things, and I appreciate you guys. Y'all familiar with such a sin. I I think that people are, because people like to say, "Oh, what about if a child was harmed?" Or and they're forgetting that that is the smallest percentage of people that gets the abortion. People like to say that for that whole sympathetic thing, but they're not the majority that we're talking about. They're the least amount.
that's true. And then also too, what people have to understand also is that morning after pill, that is an abortion pill. I did not know that.
The morning after
Um,
pill, really? No,
yes.
I think it's two
Yeah.
different things. Are you sure?
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's the same. It's only it's a
Really?
the dosage is not as high. But what happened is, back in my heyday, I was still married at the time with my ex-husband or whatever. And so at this point in time, we had we had the two kids. And so I used to run to Planned Parenthood because at the time you couldn't get Plan B at CVS. You had to go somewhere like Planned Parenthood to get it. You couldn't just go get a prescription for it. You know what I'm saying? Like this was like early 90s.
Mhm.
And so I think I did the morning after pill, I'm going to say like maybe 3 or 4 times. And I went there one time and the lady said, "Do you have any idea what you're doing to your body?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "No, you're actually messing up your body. And then if you decide to have children later on, it could also affect that."
I had
And
no
I was
idea.
like, "What?" And from that day, I never took another Plan B. But I try to tell people because everybody, they don't know that.
I had
I
no clue.
mean, yeah. And I
I
just
don't
found
know
out
what
the other
people
day.
use because it takes like what 3 days for the egg to fertilize. So the ideal is to stop that fertilization.
Right.
Right. But if
So
you know
that's
you
why
don't
I'm
want to
like
have a
the
kid,
abortion pill. The child is already. It's like after conception. So how is it the same thing?
yeah, it's the
Huh,
same pill.
I didn't
Just
know.
like
Oh, you're saying it's a smaller dosage, but it's the
It's a
same
smaller
different
when
dose.
doses.
you're further along. It's a higher dosage. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yes. And I didn't know like sometimes women they have like their tubes are clogged. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but like some women have issues with like their tubes being not as open as they should be for whatever reason. And the medicine that they give them is basically the same type of pill that's an abortion pill. And because of that, you have a lot of people who are doing homemade abortions because they're getting those pills from other people. I mean, I personally know a girl that used to do that, so that's why I'm saying it. And she would
No,
just
you're
sit at
right.
home until the whole thing went through. And I'm like, girl, one of these days, we're going to call you and you're going to be dead because you're playing doctor with these pills.
Hmm.
Damn, I had no clue at all.
Yeah. So these are things that we really need to talk about. Sometimes
Yeah.
people
I mean,
tend to I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. People tend to think because we've reached a certain age that we don't need to talk about this. But when we're on these platforms, we also have a responsibility to the audience that's listening and
hmm
also younger people who, like how I didn't know, I learned. So, we have a responsibility to let others know too. So
I
that's what I
agree.
want.
I
most
agree, and that was a
definitely
really
about that.
good point. Thank you for that knowledge because I didn't know, and I'm sure a lot of other people didn't know that either. I'm shocked by that actually. Hmm.
Yeah, it's just like basically the morning after pill and the abortion pill. Basically, you just put it that way. It's the same pill.
Hmm.
It's just, so, and I know people on both ends. I know some friends who've had abortions and it was no big deal to them. Same day or next day, they were out at the fair somewhere or at the mall shopping. But then I know, like my cousin, she had abortion. She had like 5 kids or whatever now, but so she had 2 abortions, when she was a little bit younger. And she said she still hears like babies crying, all kind of other stuff. Some people get traumatized.
After it, absolutely. But what you call it? But what Free Thinker just said when it talks about pro-life also means the life of the mother, and I think that's where people kind of get confused too. Like if it's a situation, because there are some situations where it's a difference between either the child passing or the mom passing, and the life of the mother is not thought about. And there are many instances where that's happened, and I think that's where this gets so dangerous, because when you're just completely anti-choice, then it is a situation where you're not, where the life of the mother is in danger. So we have to get common sense policies where we're pro-life, and we're pro-life for everyone, and that means that people actually give a crap after the child is born, because that's the bigger problem that we have right now. Is that
but the child has a right to live. How are you guys saying? Okay, listen, the mom makes a decision to bring a child into this world. So that mom isn't prepared for that child. That means the child shouldn't be able to live. That makes no sense. Okay, no one actually feels ready to have a child. So why are we playing God? Let me read this from Free Thinker. I cannot. The abortion pill is, I can't pronounce that. And that word. The morning after pill is okay. So Free Thinker, I'm gonna look that up. So when I do bring up as pro-life versus pro-choice again, I just have to think of a different title.
I'm just telling you what was told to me. Now, whether the lady just told me that so that I would stop coming in there taking morning after pills or not, I don't know. Once she told me that, I never touched it again. So, I mean, I'm not going to argue about my life experience.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, it's because there is a pamphlet that I read a while ago, and it talked about how some people think that the morning after pill is the same as an abortion pill. I know that when you take the abortion pill, let me put Free Thinker's comment back up there. Because that is actually a painful process for a lot of people, like depending on how far along you are. But I know that some women, they talked about the heavy cramping and things that they were not told in a hospital. So and I think people have to realize you are terminating a pregnancy that is painful, and you're gonna feel that. And we don't talk about the effects on a mom, as Shirley was saying. You do feel that. Now, what did Free Thinker say? Somebody talked about post-something syndrome, post-abortion syndrome. That is a thing, and we talk about these, and let's face it, there's some people. I knew a girl when I was in high school who had 5 in high school, and it's not birth control, and it does affect your brain. If you terminate a pregnancy, it does something to you. I don't care how cold. Maybe that's why some women are very cold. You do miss the loss of that child, and we're not talking about that.
Yeah, and I remember people. Because I think you live, I mean, I'm not trying to like dox you or anything, but we live kind of, I think, in the same area, right, Dana?
No,
I'm in central, so like, but Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because
I'll be there next week, Tanaya. I'll be in your area.
I remember back in the day, a lot of the girls, they would go to New York on this time. That's because in New York, they were doing a lot of those late-term abortions. Which I think is even more sick.
That is
painful. It's and okay. So what about laws? Okay, let me ask you guys this: what about laws? So number one, I'm pro-life. So I'm asking a question, despite my beliefs. All right, Denia is pro-choice. Especially pro-life. Just but do you guys feel, you pro-choicers, that there should be a cutoff? So after 6 months, and some of you are saying, okay, the baby's not a baby at conception. I totally disagree with that. But so should there be a cutoff period?
Yeah, I think you should definitely not be able to go past the first trimester.
Right. After the first trimester, absolutely not.
Hey, Miss.
So you guys are saying that a pro-life,
unless the situation where the mother's life is in danger, or the child's not going to live past the end of past the pregnancy, which that happens.
There's some people who was told that their child wasn't going to come out normal, and the child came out fine, and they would have terminated that pregnancy for nothing. I just think that when it comes to life, we're just not valuing life anymore, and we're just taking it for granted.
I'm going to send you a link to I was looking at this yesterday. I'm about to find it again. There's actually some courses that you can take for free. I think it's like a 6-week course on like pro-life and all this other stuff. So being so you're kind of like more so talking about that stuff on your platform now, it might be good to like take that course, because it is free, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I would like that.
They have like 6 different courses, all kind of within that same thing. But anyway, I'm going to be listening from the clouds, because got the sound bite that's sleeping beside me. So yeah, so we'll talk this weekend though.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll be traveling. I don't know. I saw you promote the
natural challenge. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I think that was one I will win, this natural challenge, but I'll be on the road. I'm going to get on the road right after this live stream.
So even like around that time, you won't have like about an hour or so that day, Sunday, because it's 6:30.
He doesn't like when I do YouTube around him. Yeah, he just doesn't like it.
But I think you will win, especially because your skin has been skinning, it's been glowing. You know what I'm saying? So
I have no problem wiping it off so y'all can see. I won't be able to do y'all know I do my eyebrows, but that's okay. We won't do eyebrows that day. But if I could do it, then I will, because that seems like that's something I don't have to cook anything and just show up. I don't know the rules, but I'll find out. I'll talk to you about it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I would. If I was you, I would put my hair like in a bun, just so people could really focus on like your natural face and the features and everything.
Okay.
And I think you would. Well, you got my vote anyway. So anyway, we'll catch up over the when you get some time. Okay, I'm still gonna be listening from the sky though.
Shelly, it's always a pleasure.
I'm not gonna be here long.
It was good talking to you, boo.
You too, Mama.
You got to come back another day so we can all do a panel or something together.
Yes, ma'am.
That would be awesome. We need to do that.
Yes, we do, for sure.
All right, ladies, great job.
Good
night.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
That's my sis, y'all. I really appreciate I appreciate all of you. Oh, wait. There she goes. I appreciate all of you. And again, I know these are sensitive subjects, and I know that a lot of you have come to me to hear me talk about sobriety and mental health kind of stuff. However, these things weigh heavily on my mind because it affects a lot of people. Right. And I feel like it's all related to our mental health and our well-beings, and we need to be involved in things that happens in our life, and we're just expanding our topics. And some people will be into it and some won't. But
here's the thing, though. Like, there's the thing. Because somebody said earlier that politics.
Good night, silent nemesis. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Earlier that private politics should be private. And usually it would be, but the way this situation has gone, it's kind of hard to keep it private now. Because back in the day, you didn't talk about who you voted for or whatnot, but now it's like, oh, that person's trying to do X, Y, Z, or like I said, we were talking about when it comes to the situation with the banning books, and like, well, who's doing that? And that's freaking DeSantis. Which the way he got into office as a whole was a nightmare. But
what I do appreciate, Denia, I have to say from the conversation, and y'all know my mouth. I'm definitely a hardcore Republican, but I have to admit I do enjoy conversations where you guys can actually throw points at me. So I really did appreciate you challenging my thoughts and my concepts because you're obviously well versed in what you're talking about. So thank you for that.
So for those of y'all who don't know me, especially when it comes, so I've been involved in politics since I was on and off since I was 19. I predominantly started as a housing advocate and an advocate for youth issues. So when it comes down to housing stuff, I know that's at the back of my hand because I had to learn it because I had to speak to certain politicians. That's why I say I'm an independent Democrat because I had to yell at the Democrats regarding not having rent caps and not having affordable housing and not even understand what affordable housing was. So, but when it, like I said, for me, it goes down to different policies and who's behind the policies. Because if you are a known racist, you're not doing stuff that's positive. And I can tell
And
you for a
nobody's
fact,
teaching racism. So
no. I'm not talking. I'm talking about when we go through Project 2025. You'll see what I'm talking about because you saw what
okay,
kind of.
well, okay, so I will set up a stream. Are you guys interested in Project 2025? Actually, it's been on my heart since I did this poll. I
Yes.
have to learn how I can actually talk. I'm sure as Hutchinson, I help me out because I got to learn how to do the slides as I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at editing, but I'm not good with live streaming and stuff like that. So we're gonna do
President's
Sport, and we can't do it all at once. So we'll have to start with maybe the first pillar. That'll be a long stream because there's four. We'll have to start somewhere. So we won't go through the whole thing. We'll do it in 4 parts. And if you hold on to that.
So why don't we do this before we do the stream?
If you guys want to be a part of that stream, just let me know because that would definitely be a discussion. I'll lay it out and then we could talk about it. Free Thinker said, I'm tired now. This was an invigorating conversation. Oh, it hurts my brain.
And here's the thing, and this is what I'm gonna say for YouTubers, TikTokers, all of that. You can have this conversation and be calm. Y'all be up there doing death threats and things. Stop that. Like you can have this conversation and still be calm. I'm still gonna Miss Edgerton is still amazing. I still love her. You know, as it's we just and when we do the stream and when she finds out that she's young, I'll just be like, well, and I'm still gonna love her.
I was thinking I better call Naya when I'm on the road. I got a little
point already. And you're like, wait, I didn't know. See, so I already know what the rest is gonna be. But again, it's okay to have a difference of opinion. It's okay to be misinformed. But again, you can have you can disagree and still have a civil stream. I need my YouTubers, my TikTokers, Instagrammers. What we need to stop doing is getting to the point of, oh, they disagree, let's dox them. That's insanity. I don't understand that. That's appalling, and that needs to stop. And yesterday, because that is where it goes beyond the platform. You're sitting there calling people's jobs, going to people's homes, threatening people's lives. This is what we need to stop doing. You need to be able to have the conversation, be like, okay, I disagree with this. Okay, I disagree with that. Okay, we can agree on this. Because what has been happening when these conversations happens, you get a whole bunch of people in the chat saying a whole bunch of ignorant things, and then somebody gets doxxed. That's what we can't do. And go ahead.
I completely agree with Danaya, and I think it's important to attack. I'm sorry, somebody else. It's important to go after talk about ideas and not attacking each other. Now, I got a message I did not see where somebody's asked me to go over the points of Project 2025. I wasn't trying to deflect against that. It's just that it's truly layered. And we'll have to set up a stream because I can tell you this. We can do it pillar by pillar if you guys want, but there's a lot to it. And so if I lay it out for you guys, hang on, even if I lay it out, I'm going to just read this to you and it's not going to make sense. That's why I want to pull up the whole thing for you. But it aims to prepare for conservative administration. I read that to you. And it focuses on, I already told you guys that one, because it talks about taxes, it talks about education, it talks about just think of every aspect of American life and policies and
where it talks about destroying
all of that. So you'd have to break down all of that and see what it says about that to go over the points of it. So it's not something that I could just answer in a 2-sentence paragraph. I just can't do it. I can tell you Yeah, it's just a lot. But we'll do that live stream, you guys. But before I do the live stream, you're gonna want to look at it because it's very thorough. So there. Now let me answer some of the questions that was in the chat real quick. So I don't know if that. I don't really have a. I don't think there's a. It's so I can't really just break that down. And even as I'm looking for a shortcut online, I everything that I read is like, no, you got to go into details with it. Okay, so somebody asked something about forcing somebody to be a mom. I can't find that comment now. I don't think that anyone should be forced to be a mom, but that's why you can give up that child for adoption. There's plenty of people that will love to take care of a child, and that's the best gift that you can. That's one of the best things that you can give somebody.
I think
Reason why is this?
they're more referring to forcing people to carry a child to term. Is what
Well, then, but you have a choice. There are some extenuating circumstances where, but most people, I mean, no one's forcing you unless something happens where you're forced, and that's unfortunate. But for the most part, planning. Talk about in vitro fertilization. Do you think people will say that it's tampering with life of humans? Well, in vitro fertilization is a whole different thing.
IVF is a whole.
We'll have to have that conversation when I first start my stream.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation because
because I'm getting ready to I gotta cook stuff. Game Passenger, we were starting off talking about pro-life versus pro-choice. We were talking about right-wing views, left-wing stuff, and very general and stuff like that. And then somebody brought up Project 2025. I said that I'll have to do a live stream for that because it's not something I could just answer. And Trumpians and stuff like that. It's a lot of things. Free thinker, you know that the media are hating, but if you the people Project 2025. All right, I'll do that stream, you guys. Let me learn how to do the slide. Y'all know what I'm saying. Let me learn how to put it up on my screen. I think I kind of know how, but I have to play with it, and we can go over it. I could tell you it's good. Game Passenger, listen. I have right-wing ideas. It doesn't mean I agree with everything. I know people are talking about homelessness and all of those things and funds for that stuff. Are you guys familiar with aggressive agriculture? You're already seeing, do y'all know that? Have you guys heard that term, aggressive agriculture? Am I saying that right? Agriculture. I might be saying that wrong. Hold on, let me look it up real fast. Aggressive. I might be saying architecture. I'm sorry, I said agriculture. Aggressive architecture. I didn't even have to look it up. It just came to my brain. Aggressive how you say the word? Architecture.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me look up what I'm talking about. So you guys I don't know if you guys have noticed, but some of the the bus stop benches, they have bars between them now, or some of the benches are slanted. So that's aggressive
architecture.
Architecture. So they're already trying to clean up homelessness. Now the question is, where do you put homeless people? Now my thing is, so when I'm talking about things like this, I love talking about stuff like this because a lot of homeless people have mental health disorders and substance abuse problems. And I feel that it's a problem, and you got to treat a lot of that stuff. And you can't just get rid of homelessness and homeless people because you can't see them doesn't mean that they don't exist.
Agreed.
So some of you that's in my message is like, what does this have to do with sobriety? It all does. It all does.
It all ties in, and I think that's what people are getting confused about, right? All of this ties in when it comes to homelessness, when it comes to
Game Passenger.
affordable housing or lack of affordable housing. When it comes to when it comes to the politics of how they're being done, when it comes to the fact of people, being in jail for 20 freaking years for nonviolent offenses, right? When it comes to the whole reentry policies and how after you get out, there are more laws that are kind of changing now, but a lot of there are certain places that you can't go just because you had a record, whether you were guilty or not. But because you have that record, there's certain places you can't go, and certain buildings and certain jobs you can't get, and all of that. So, and again, it all ties into sobriety. It ties into substance abuse. It all ties into the environment. That's the thing that makes this thing tricky. He would say, don't talk about politics, we'll talk about religion, but politics affects every single thing, every single aspect of our life. The one thing that I will say is most people don't even understand that elections don't happen every 4 years, they happen every 2 years. That is the biggest misconception, and that's why we're in the position that we are in now. That's why we have people like MTG in freaking Georgia, because we don't understand that elections happen every 2 years. And we aren't voting in our local elections and trying to change that. Because it's not about the federal, it's about the local. Because the local is who we send to Washington. They ain't doing nothing, why they all need to be fired. So again, I want to just basically wipe the whole thing clean and start over on both sides, because people have been in there way too long, and they're getting worse. And that goes on both sides.
There's a lot of things. I'm gonna wrap it up like this, because I see that listen, when I ask questions, you guys, I'm asking questions that we all should be asking each other, that questions that matter and that affects life. Like when I'm talking about pro-life versus pro-choice, and I hear you, Denaya. I actually agree with what you're saying right there. But the things like that, people struggle with mental health. They struggle with a lot of things. Things feel overwhelming, and these things do matter. So when I'm thinking about, all right, I've spoken to a lot of women that have terminated pregnancies and they were depressed. Mm-hmm. These things are coming up in the election. Okay, we're talking about a lot of things. Roe versus Wade has been in the news lately. We've seen the Supreme Court decisions. We've seen things try to be overturned. There's just a lot of things that really affect us. And so these streams can get heated. Now, with the Project 2025 that keeps coming up, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in pieces and we'll break it down. And well, let me say this. I am not undermining anybody's, or that might be the wrong word. I don't want anybody to feel put down by me because of my strong opinions. You guys are entitled to your opinions, and I actually think about what you guys say, and stand strong in your beliefs. But I think that it's all a conversation, and I'm just appreciative of the conversation. I'm not saying I know it all. I'm not saying that my way works for everybody, but I do have a reason for why I think that I do. I think that I do understand a thing or two about wealth. I understand a thing about being independent and financially independent in a lot of ways. I just believe that the more control you have over your life with less involvement is just the better for me. I do not believe in government being involved in a lot of our decision making.
And I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, Alexis.
Hence why these men need to stop trying to control our lives. So go ahead. I agree.
So okay. So with that being said, because I'm gonna end it like that. We'll do our final thoughts, because I'm gonna say this. It's just a lot, but I know I don't want anybody to feel that I put down their views. Now, I do feel that. Thank you so much for being a member for 9 months, Alexis.
Yes.
Am I going back to beefing? Am I going back to any of those other things? No, because for me, those things it was very, I'm sorry, I'm answering the messages in my comment section.
No, you're good.
I'm answering, I'm sorry, y'all. I saw y'all questions come up, but I forgot to address them. Why don't I beef? Why don't I respond to certain things? Because those things don't matter. The things that actually matter to me are things like this. And these are the things that I honestly enjoy talking about. I enjoy talking about finances, politics, and what is going on in our lives. So that's just what we're gonna do. Child, these areas beyond it. So that's what it is. But Denaya, we have to. So Denaya, so are you gonna come and join us for when I break down?
Absolutely. Let me know the day.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do?
Let me know the day. I'll come on camera, all that stuff, because I think when it comes, I'll come on camera. But
so when do you want? Because I'll schedule that one. So when do you want? Let me look. Not the weekend, because y'all know I'm leaving on the weekend, but wow, I'll be in Wisconsin. No, I can go live from Wisconsin, because I will be in Wisconsin. Damn, I'm telling y'all my itinerary and stuff. Um, I'm gonna fly to Wisconsin because my brother is having his first baby and I want to be a big part of it. I am so excited. They're already telling me not to have the baby on social media. Y'all know that baby gonna be on social media. My brother is like my younger brother. We have such a special relationship, and the fact that I'll use my finances on that damn ticket, y'all. I did my stream. I'm just talking in general. So the new Candace Owens, like me some Candace, but Candace fumbled. She dropped the ball when she said that, am I gonna YouTube is so sensitive. Y'all remember not like Candace Owens, but when Candace said that Hitler would have been okay if he didn't globalize, Candace. Can't say shit like that. But we're done with we're good.
Yeah.
My brother's having his they're both having their first child. Y'all know those young relationships. He's actually not that young, but he's young to me. And I'm gonna fly back and celebrate. So his birthday, he's turning 30 years old. It's a milestone. And he's having his first baby, and they're gonna do the gender reveal. He doesn't even know the gender of the baby. So when they asked me to fly back, absolutely, because there was a time where, as much as I wanted to be present, this is gonna be really special because I'm completely sober now. I'm in my right mind, and my family is everything to me. My relationships is everything to me. My friendships, you guys talking to me in the chat, I don't mind if there's a few of you because I can remember y'all damn names. But it's just really special. And my brother is so sensitive. I'm gonna probably go live while I'm there during a party, but it's such a big deal to me, and I'm really grateful. They're such a beautiful couple. I'll post a picture of my brother and me, or make a video. But I love my family so much, you guys, and the fact that I still have them and they still love me after everything. They don't even judge me. It's just really special.
And that's what's up. That's what's important.
I know I was gonna like to. I can't ugly cry because I gotta look good tonight, but I don't want my eyes to be puffy.
But at the end of the day, that's what it's about. The reason that both of us are, have our views, it's about the next generation. It's about people having their freedoms. It's not about us. It's about who we're leaving this country to. That's the biggest thing. At the end of the day, what all the craziness, that's what the whole thing is about. It's about making sure that we still have a history in the books because they're trying to destroy it. So there's that.
Okay, Dana, I love my sis. Dana, I really appreciate you. Please let me know you because I will. Oh, good, Alexis, you want to be a part of that stream? Okay, so we'll come up with the date.
Look, it's gonna be Hannah.
Okay, so Alexis, y'all know Alexis now. She's. I'll have people. They seem soft spoken, but they'll give me a run for my money with my views. I think Alexis. I don't want to speak for her, but she spoke about this publicly. So we know Dania is an independent Democrat. I don't believe there's such a thing, but whatever, she can call herself what she wants. Y'all know my views. Will y'all be shocked if I became? Oh, I can't even get those words out of my mouth. Alexis, I don't know what she is. Is she independent? She'll tell you guys herself. But if we had that panel, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah. It'd be nice if S. Hutchinson could join us. I don't know her political affiliation, but I want to have a balance because what I see in these panels, they're either all Democrat
or all, yeah.
They're all Democrat. Republicans have no problem listening to another person's point of view. So I don't want just one. So that's why I kind of mentioned what Dania was. So I'll be okay even with just Dania. Alexis, I can't remember what she is, but I want a well-balanced panel and we can go over Project 2025. I'm looking at if we did it on tentative, I'll schedule it. We'll come up with a day. I'll talk to them both behind the scenes.
Yeah. Let's figure out the day because I might even be able to rebroadcast. We'll talk.
And we'll cap it. We'll cap it at, because there's 4 pillars, so we won't go past 2 hours, you guys. Okay. Just because it's a lot of information to take in. Or should we do an hour? We'll talk about it. We'll
figure it out and let you guys know.
I'll get some feedback. I'll talk to Shelly. I'll talk to one of my moderators that's in the chat. Thank you, Alexis. I'm so excited to have my niece and just to fly back. My mom, I love hanging with my mom.
Yeah.
We can't do politics. Oh no, I cannot talk Republican talk in front of my family. Hell no. Nope, we're not doing that. But okay,
yeah.
so Alexis is an independent. She goes, okay, so Alexis would be a great addition to add. But Free Thinker said, I keep show him this life. Can we vote on girl or boy, Nikki? Sure.
Free Thinker, I'm trying to tell you, when she reads the whole thing, that's all I'm gonna say. When she reads this, she's gonna be like, what?
I have read it. What are you talking about? I have read it. Did I get through all of it? I didn't get through all of it. No, that's a long read. I didn't get through all of it. I didn't, but a lot of it we'll do piece by piece. We'll read it.
Yeah, we'll go piece by piece, and we'll go.
And I keep forgetting. I didn't read all of it. No, I did not. I'm not gonna say I did.
What I will say for the audience, so y'all can prepare.
Okay, I do want to add. I do want to respond to this Free Thinker. That's one of the reasons I did like the policy. So let me read this. As Free Thinker wanted to put it out there. I keep forgetting to mention Project 2025 has Trump's name throughout the document. How is this bipartisan or democracy? Because it's a very right-wing policy, and it's right-wing for a reason. And I think that people are forgetting we have laws, we have morals embedded in our laws. All right, so Trump going forward. Okay, people talked about that. Okay, take that last part I said, because I don't want to tie that in tonight.
Yeah, it is not bipartisan. It isn't by any means.
If Trump was elected, all right, you guys talked a lot about what happened in Capitol Hill and insurrection and all of that stuff. So what's wrong with the policy ensuring that those things don't happen anymore? What's wrong with the policy looking at how, with policing of people and homelessness and all those things, and how funds are allocated? What's wrong with policies rewriting some of that? You guys said that you didn't like what happened and that things need to change. So what's wrong with the blueprint that and if the Republicans took the initiative, nobody complained when the Republicans passed bills in favor of reparations. So it seems to me that Republicans lead in a lot of the lawmaking process. And if it took for us to come with not me, but if it took for them to come up with a new policy, so be it. We've led a lot of things in a positive direction. So why not this?
Because this is not going in a positive direction.
Hang on, let me.
That's why. Because ain't nothing positive about anything Stephen Miller's ever produced. Ain't nothing positive about anything the Heritage Foundation has ever produced. You talk about what's going on in Florida? What organization do you think started this stuff? It's by them people that puts those bans in place. That's Reproductive policy. We'll see.
Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna start this weekend with that. I didn't get into all of that. No, it's hard for me to believe anybody has finished it yet. I haven't finished it.
I am not MAGA. I'm just on this stream. The views on this platform does not have anything to do with the guests on this platform. I am not by any means. Do not ever. No.
I'm not even. Y'all see, I didn't mute her microphone. I didn't mute her. That would be very biased.
I am absolutely no. Just making that clear. Because this is in the background. Don't you dare say that.
We know that Denia is not MAGA. I am not MAGA either.
It's on your thingy. Why is it on your thing?
Hang on for a second.
People, I swear to God.
Listen, we're gonna have a good discussion.
None of us. Just so just be clear.
Listen, why do you sound flustered?
I said MAGA don't include none of us. And they've been
I can't believe that store closed. When I go to Vegas, I'm almost talking to myself. Will I stay at the Trump Hotel? I don't know. I have trouble staying at places that was built on slave money, though. So, like the Bellagio and all these other places, I have trouble with that. You need to read wait a minute. I do read to comprehend learning daily. Just because you have learning in your name doesn't mean you can insult my intelligence, fool. What's wrong with you? Let me see. What are Republicans' bills regarding reparations? I need to hear this. or they tried to pass a bill in favor of reparations that got denied. Go back to 2015, 1865. Actually, reparations was paid out, but it was paid to former slave owners.
Right.
Okay, we know that Great Britain paid the debt for slavery, but what happened? It went to it went to banks and those kind of things, and the slaves didn't get paid for anything, and nobody questioned that. No one questioned that. Since when does no one questioned that? They'll just start there. And if you want me to send you something on it, just send me a message and I'll send it to you. I have no problem with that. My brain is getting tired, y'all, so I have to stop. No need for, yeah. Oh God, Alexis, what? No child needs homeless. My brain is tired. So I support and defend Oh, well, let me take this down.
That's what I was talking about. That's why I said what I was saying, because I'm like, why she put that daggone thing?
I love you guys. All right, I do. VOA's White House correspondent was posting content highly critical. Since when did we live in a country that could not criticize the president? No, you criticize the president, but what other countries are you guys allowed to do that in? I just think that, okay, let's take Trump's ear. That was very unfortunate. That man could have died. And what do other countries think? It makes us a target. It makes us extremely vulnerable to other countries. And the fact that people thought that was staged is just very troubling. Nobody's going to stage something that close. That man almost lost his life, and nobody deserves that. So that's why I make those videos to show exactly what happened, because that cannot have happened, and that jeopardizes our boundaries and our national security. Yep. And it's horrible that people cannot have a rally. We have to be able to have these things as part of our democratic process, and it can't be jeopardized by violence. Just like, would you want us to have a what do you call it when we're marching? It's protest, and violence is aimed towards us. So what even more so, what makes it okay for the president to be almost assassinated? That was absolutely horrible.
Agreed, but hold on. But it
shouldn't have happened. It's just wrong.
It was by someone with an AR-15.
That was what?
It was by someone who had an AR-15, and
so that makes it better.
No. But I'm saying is that if we have the policies that said that if you have mental issues, you can't be buying guns like that, that wouldn't even happen. So it's a whole other situation.
Okay, but still, the president was almost assassinated. There you go, deflecting, Denia. You really have to work on that. Like you're deflecting. Yes, you are. Because at the end of the day, regardless, people buy guns, people purchase them illegally, and they don't try to assassinate the president. There's no excuses. And then he tried to lie and say that he was Republican, but he had a lot of speeches anti-Republicans, talking about how he hated Republicans. The fact that he was a registered Republican, he was just trying to blame that on the Republican Party. He hated trying to set up a Republican. He hated the party. He wanted to assassinate the president, and it ended very poorly for him.
That's actually wrong, but okay.
That is true. It's very true.
That's not how that works, but all right.
With your mind, will tell your your Democratic Party to agree with it. I'm grateful that Jim. Okay, my brain is tired, you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Denia, thank you for coming up. You got any final thoughts for me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. Wait till y'all see this Project 2025 thing. I'm just saying it's gonna be a nice one for people to understand, because a lot of people aren't talking about it, and we need to talk about it so we can make sure that it does not happen. So yes,
make sure it doesn't happen. Okay, I'm gonna hold my opinion until I get through more of it. I have to get through more of it, and
I'll forgive you when you realize that, oh my gosh, it's really bad. So it's okay, no worries. I'm trying to warn you now before we go through this, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know.
But you guys have to understand, there's a lot of things, just like the insurrection and things like that. There's a lot of things that turn me off, and there's a lot of things that turn me off to where I was like, okay, although I will never vote Democrat, I won't say ever. I won't say never. I'm not that. I will vote for the person I think is the best for the office, right?
That part.
But it's not looking like I will ever vote Democrat.
But the insurrection.
But I want to think I would vote for no one. Don't think that I'm just going to vote for somebody because they're Republican. The insurrection completely turned me off. It never should have happened. and it was absolutely wrong. But all right, that's what it is. If you're under attack, why in the world would you become concerned about putting on your shoe and waving?
Don't. Let's not even
All right.
discuss the whole situation because that was a whole nightmare. The way that
Go
whole
ahead
thing
and
went down is
support
so
a
crazy.
treasonous person. So now he's treasonous.
The,
Really? So you
the
guys
inter-
are okay with Biden's son being? You guys, there's so many biases. Listen, you guys have got to open up your minds and listen to reason. And what's with all this labeling? So now he's treasonous.
that's what the insurrection was, treason. But that's a whole different conversation. That's the epitome of treason. Come on now, but the insurrection was treason. That period.
You
That
can't
full stop.
blame Trump for all of that stuff. Listen,
The
if a
right,
bunch of grown
wanted to
people
go with
decide
them.
that they're gonna storm cap,
He
listen.
wanted to go with them. He was trying to go
The
with them
election,
and
because
do treason
nobody
stuff.
likes a rigged election, and some people, and that's
Oh
just
Lord,
that's
here we
another story for
go.
another day. I'm gonna leave it like that. Misunderstood, I love you, girl, but I'm still trying to figure out how people who sitting behind him didn't run for their lives. That's a funny stuff.
Look,
Wiggs and Wine, let me tell you something. It wasn't staged. Nobody's gonna put their ear in jeopardy and their life in jeopardy, and it was really unfortunate. Just the no regard for human life. And I love you too. Okay, but Hamas says protesters did worse in the Capitol, yet it's only wrong for one side. Speak about it, game passenger. Wiggs and Ryan. What in the French Revolution is going on in the chat? Wiggs and Wine, take that ear away. Take that ear. Somebody remove that. Oh my gosh, he's trying. Okay, on that note, y'all, I'm about to cook
I'm like,
for my babies. We got ears in the chat now. Listen, I'm so sorry,
oh
Trump.
no, don't do that. Oh Jesus, no,
Wiggs
we're not doing this right now. We're not doing this right now. We're gonna do the Project 2025 live, and Miss Anderson's gonna understand why we are so against it.
I don't have an open mind, but I hope I'm not the only one.
I have an open mind. I understand.
In the spring, the Supreme Court, highest court in the land decided they were wrongly convicted. Talk about it. I forgot about this. My brain is tired. That's right, game passenger. That is a fact.
Not the Supreme Court with the man that got $40 million in bribes. We're not gonna even go there with them people. That's a whole other conversation. What?
Now you got different standards for it. You just want your point to be proven no matter what the facts are.
The facts are Clarence Thomas got $44 million in bribes. That's a fact. There's no question about this. He even had to admit that.
Oh, Demaya. Well, I hope that you will probably change some of your points as time goes by.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited to see this. Oh, I cannot wait because I know who's behind this daggone thing. I know what their views are. So I already know what this thing is. So I can't wait. I am excited for this one because I already know you're gonna be like, "Ooh, I didn't know. Ooh, I didn't understand. Ooh, I already know how it's gonna go." So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
I'm Sadie.
Bye, lady.
All right. Have a good night, you guys. Take care. Thank you for joining
us. Tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Yes, ma'am. Take care. Bye.
Okay, now I love Denia. We're gonna hold on, you guys. Now I could do it. I'm not feeling bad. I appreciate you guys' thoughts. Listen, it was a waste of time debating a Trump. What? I can't believe she said that. My friend said this? It's a waste of time debating a Trumpist. The illogical fallacies reign supreme. Oh my God, that was harsh. We're gonna look at Project 2025. I do not consider myself a Trumpist at all, because that would mean that I agree with the insurrection. I agree with all that stuff. I absolutely do not agree with it. But I was Republican before Trump came into office, so I really don't want to get caught up in that. I was, can't believe she said that. Learning daily, you agree with that? So you guys think I'm a Trumpist because I cannot go along with the Democrat Party. I'm very independent. I see it all. I think that you have not mentioned one fact. I filled this chat with facts, including nonpartisan studies. This is gaslighting BS. Free thinker, I will go through the chat and look at all those links that you put in there, and I will read. I wasn't trying to gaslight anybody. Then that wasn't to you. It was for the Trumpists. Trumpists and true Republicans are not the same. Yeah, no, I'm a true Republican, and I was very disappointed. Actually, DK and I had a conversation about that. We were very disappointed. We're both Republicans, and so, yeah, no, I don't do the bipartisan thing. Okay. And that was hurtful. And it was hurtful for a lot of Black Republicans, and not just Black Republicans, a lot of Republicans. And some of them left the party because of what happened. So I don't want you guys to think that, oh, I was on board with that. Absolutely not. It never should have happened. All right. That was very hurtful. God was sending us a message. We were an interest of war. That's right. MU, but the new, more humble Trump that is closer to God, and he has a lot to learn. I feel that he is more humble now, and he learned a lot. And we see his family values and how his family treats him, loves him, respects him, and I think it's a lot. I think those are American values. Hang on, let me go on mute. Oh my goodness. My friend was trying to talk to me in the middle. I could deal with Republican, but not Trumpers. If you want to vote for Trump after understanding you are a Trumper. Okay, let me go through more of it so I can have a well-rounded conversation about it. All right. So I am glad that Free Thinkers said that. Good night, Alexis. I'm about to end with this. I was a Republican before that happened, and I don't like the way the party has changed in a lot of ways. But at the end of the day, there's some things that I am a diehard on, and that's pro-life, a wealthier economy, less government involvement in our lives. So if you guys want to talk to me about some things like that, policies and funds and social programs and things like that, that's an interesting conversation. And you might be surprised by some of my views. Homelessness and things like that, that's a problem. That's a problem, and it's another conversation for another day. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank y'all for your comments. Y'all got any final thoughts for me? Wait till y'all see Trump turn 2. He was hard-headed. It was more. This election is going to be a game changer. There's going to be a lot of unhappy people, no matter who wins. Be educated. Y'all, we got the right to bear arms and all of these things in question. There's going to be a lot. Voting rights, what do we do about the borders and stuff like that? There's a lot of things that's going to affect our way of living in our life. So can't blame a person for wanting to have a conversation about that. All right, y'all. Feel free to like, comment, and share, and I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to cook for my baby. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to buy my baby some food. You're fired for my brain is tired, you guys. I don't want to end with this MAGA thing on my screen, though. Let me get rid of that. I was trolling y'all a little bit with that. But thank y'all for hanging out, Free Thinker. I'm going to go through those thoughts. And I just appreciate attempting to have a conversation like this. And I will get better with it as time goes by. See y'all later. Good night. That was for one person, but bye.